Welcome to Lesson 55 in Saxon Algebra 1, 3rd edition. And this lesson is on complex fractions. And I found this really cute little thing. I've seen it on t-shirts before, but 3 out of 2 people have trouble with fractions. Well, the funny part of that is it should have been 2 out of 3. You can't have 3 out of only 2 people. All right, so what is a complex fraction? What's the definition? It is a fraction, and I'm sorry this is kind of grainy, a fraction that contains another fraction in its numerator and or denominator. So here we've got a fraction in the numerator and a whole number in the denominator, and we know that we can make a fraction out of any whole number. Here you've got a fraction in the numerator and in the denominator. Alright, now here it is. This is with only variables. Here we look at the same thing with numbers. And 2/3 in the numerator and then the whole number 10 in the denominator. Or over here we've got 2/5 in the numerator and 6/7 in the denominator. All of those are called complex fractions. Alright, I found another example down here of just numerals that have actual values, and here we want to take this, the first thing you want to do is keep fractions, not mixed numbers. So we do the 3 times 6 plus 1 is 19 over 3. And I don't really like the way this is set up, this part of it right here. This is not how we're going to do it, but let's move on and I'll show you. Okay, now here's something that you can put in your notes. Complex fraction, a fraction that has a fraction as its numerator, denominator, or both. And here you've got 2 examples, one here, one here. Then how do I simplify a complex fraction? And the answer to that is we divide the fraction in the numerator by the fraction in the denominator, just like you would any fraction. So 1/2 divided by 4/5 would actually end up being 1/2 times 5/4. This is out of order. This should be 4. And then this would be 8. Alright, have to be careful what you download, I guess, as far as images may not always be right. Alright, but here it is again, a over b divided by c, and the first thing we're going to do is make c into a fraction. Then we're going to change the sign to multiplication and then invert this second fraction to 1 over c, and then we're going to finally just multiply. A times 1 is a, b times c is bc. Alright, here they've done the same thing, a over b divided by c over d. We write a over b, change the sign to multiplication, flip this to its inverse of d over c, and then we add a times d, multiply a times d over b times c, so you get ad over bc. Alright, good. So let's work some practice problems. These look difficult. These are the ones that I've been telling you for years. Don't use a fraction calculator. If you don't know how to do the process of fractions without a calculator, when it gets to where there are fractions with no numbers, you're not going to know how to do it. So here it is. We have arrived. Alright, so let's make this a fraction, and we're going to change this division sign, because that's what that means, to multiplication, and then we're going to invert our denominator to 1 over d, and then we're simply going to multiply x over md. And you could put 1x, it doesn't matter. 1x and x is the same thing. Alright, here we have 1 over r divided by 1 over z. So we're going to change the sign, and then we're going to invert the bottom fraction to z over 1. These will cross cancel each other out, and we are left with z over r is our final answer. Isn't that easy? Alright, let's do another one. N over a divided by b over d. Change the sign, flip the second fraction, and multiply across nd over ab. Alright, now this one looks a little bit different, but don't worry about it. This top number, we're going to go ahead and make it a fraction as well. So let's do that. Now we have two fractions. Alright, so we have w over 1 divided by, so I'm going to change the sign to multiplication, and then I'm going to invert this second fraction to 1 over w plus c. These will cross cancel. I am so sorry. I said invert and multiply, but then I forgot to invert. Just goes to show you it's an easy mistake to make. So w plus c goes on the top and 1 goes on the bottom. So this 1 is actually still there. And 1 times 1 is 1. And now we have w times w plus c. And we'll just leave it like that for right now. That would be your answer. Okay? So don't get panicky. It's all good. We're going to be able to get through this. You're starting to get some more difficult concepts now in your lessons. So make sure that you grab a hold and really try to understand. If you don't understand, you know that I'm available to answer questions for you. So I'll see you tomorrow for lesson 56.